Okay.
So where do we leave off? You're in Germany, and you get sent to special forces somewhere else in Germany, right? To just
Yes.
get gear up, and is it from there that you go down to Vietnam and back for each of these maneuvers, or
Most of the time, yes.
or do you just get sent to Vietnam and you're just there?
No, I didn't get sent to Vietnam and just there. When the nature of what we did was a specific event. It was, the one that I've told you about before, and it's the easiest one for me to talk about, was when they sent us in 67, in September of 67. We were sent to Iran. The Israelis and the Arabs were trying to kill each other, and the United States was concerned about listening posts that they had in northern Iran on the border with Russia. They had some listening posts up there that they, from what I was told, these listening posts are so sensitive that they could pick up phone calls from the Kremlin. But anyway, our job was, if Russia were to have gotten involved in that war in any way, our job was to take out those listening posts and just destroy them, which turned into be kind of a holiday for us, because the first thing we did is we went into the Tel Aviv airport in Israel and we evacuated Americans. And all we did was set up perimeter. We didn't have any real fight there. There wasn't a lot of bombs or anything going off there. But then they sent us up to the top of Iran, and up there we were kind of sitting in wait to see what was going to happen. And the whole thing took less than 7 days. We were only there for that time, and then we were out of there. But where we went from there was on to Vietnam. And Vietnam, we were sent there on 2 different missions. The first one was to try to see if we couldn't extract some prisoners of war out of what they referred to as the Hanoi Hilton. We had a 24-minute exercise there that we trained for. We were to go in, and everything went proper. He's in a hurry.
Yeah.
We got a wreck ahead of us, but we'll dodge the wreck.
Anyway, so a 24-minute exercise that if everything goes properly, in and out.
Yep, we're in and out in 24. I mean, everything was fast for us. I mean, we were there, at least on this one, we were there, and we needed to make it happen, and so they dropped us in, and when we got there...
So when you dropped in, you got taken in on helicopters?
Yes.
Okay.
And they sent us in there, and we went to work, and immediately we realized there was nobody there. Now we were sure we were
Like you had been set up
yeah.
for a trap, huh?
Oh boy.
They sent you in and nobody was home.
Nobody was home. Longest 24 minutes of my life.
You thought for sure you were going to die.
Oh yeah. I mean, and the thing about it is because of that, now command is saying they didn't want to have the copter helicopters come in and add to the casualties. They were expecting us
Your
to.
blinker's still on.
Yep, I know it.
Oh.
Nope, there we go. I was trying to see what that sign said. Here's our incident management guy.
So because nobody was home, you didn't get to do what you thought you were going to do. Now they figured you are sitting ducks, and they don't want to add any more people to it.
Yep. So we sat there for a lot more time. Holy mackerel.
Somebody's off the road there.
Oh, I see it. Now I see what they're all excited about. There's a car down in the barrel there.
Yeah, they probably hit some standing water and hydroplane and found
Yep.
themselves off the road.
Yep.
Anyway, so you show up there, and they don't want to send anybody in to extract you now.
Yep. So we sit there, and finally they decide, okay. And what had happened is they had abandoned that facility, and the intel they had was incorrect. So we just got lucky. That could have been a really ugly time, but I'll tell you, I know how long that time felt to me, and it was a long time. But then from there, they sent us down to Thailand, and we were sitting down in Thailand and really not doing anything. And this is November of '67, and they send us into they have a really bad fight up in the northern end of Vietnam. And
So Thailand's a launching place to go in there.
what's that?
You're going to launch from Thailand to go into Vietnam?
Yeah, well, that's what we're just hanging out there, but they had us stay there. I guess they figured something was happening, and it was. And there are a lot of guys got that. Anyway, we got sent into there on support to try to make it so that they could get. They were taking so many casualties, and our job was to put up a front to hold this back while they could extricate the ones that had already been up there and been hit so hard. And we were dropped in and told where we were to go to, and we were virtually going through the jungle at that point.
So dropped in by helicopter and told them
We had a point where we needed to get to
march through the jungle to get to this place to set up this front.
So that we could hold that ground to let
The other people escape.
because they'd already wiped out an entire base that was up there that had been a training base for us, for our side. But anyway, we're getting there. We're going there. It's night, and we're moving. And it isn't when you're moving like that you're not real close together. You're kind of spread out. And
So by spread out, you're 30 feet from each other?
I'd say at least.
Okay.
But we all know where we've got to go to. And I got thankfully an idiot that tried to lay in wait for me to come underneath him and not see him, which I didn't. And then
So he's up in a tree?
Yeah. And then he dropped down on me, and his intention, I'm sure, was to get my throat, or because we've got some pretty good armament on, I don't think he would have done well there. In fact, thank goodness I had that too. But when he came down on me, he didn't get the hold that he wanted, and I could overpower him quickly. And I did, and I broke his neck and killed him. But he got to stab me back here in the back of the shoulder.
So he stabbed you in on your left or right side?
Left side.
Left side,
back.
shoulder area.
Yeah.
Shoulder blade kind of thing? Or like...
Yeah, it's actually, the shoulder blade, and the fact that, again, we have the vests that they wear.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have a hard time getting a knife through them. But his knife was sharp enough that it got through the layer, but it just barely got into me. But again, because he is off balance and out, I got a hold of him. And of course, I'm not letting him go for anything.
Right.
So I just broke his neck. And
that was the end of him.
Exactly.
So it was either you or him, and you took his life because he jumped you.
Yeah. But then we moved up, and we got to where we were supposed to be, and we dug in.
When that happened, when he jumped on you, I don't know how noisy it was. If you're 50 feet from the next person to help you, if they came running over or wondering what's going on.
Well,
or what.
the guy next to me, who is a very good friend of mine who isn't around anymore, was a Sergeant Buckner was his name, and he was a black guy. He was a real good friend of mine. But I need to stop. I'm gonna let you drive for a minute.
Okay.
We were together all the time I was in that unit. He and I were inseparable.
So you were kind of like Forrest Gump and Bubba.
In a way, yeah, I guess.
Because there was a white and a black guy, and they were like inseparable.
Yeah.
So you gonna find a parking lot to...
Yeah, I'm calmed down a little bit now, but I was starting to get a little
Emotional?
Yeah, a little more than I felt comfortable with and still drive. But yeah, but anyway, we got in and we dug in and we just waited and all hell broke loose. Some of the very first shots.
Let's see, does that change the delay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the very first things that when they hit us was they hit us with grenades. These are grenades that are propelled from a gun. And
so they're just lobbed from a gun.
Yeah. And Buck took one right in his foxhole, killed him instantly.
That was the black guy you were just talking about?
Yep.
So that landed in his foxhole and he was done that day?
Yep.
Okay.
He had no chance. But we kept going. There was 16 of us. 5 of us made it out of it. I was lucky.
So you're shooting, you're returning fire.
Oh yeah, we held our time, we held our edge, and we got it.
And so the guy that dropped out of the tree, he was just your first casualty. You're saying there were certainly others that you took down with a rifle.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, they weren't hard to hit. There were lots of them out there. They come in waves.
You just had to cut them down.
You do. Yeah.
I remember when you and I and Mom, you came and picked me up from my mission, and we went down to D.C. and we went to the Vietnam Memorial. And it's probably impossible for them to get every name on there, but you went over that wall looking for some names, and so I don't know which names you went looking for, but Buck was one of your
absolutely.
buddies that didn't come back.
Yep. No, his name was there. Yep.
So because you were stabbed in the back, on the shoulder,
Yeah.
Was that a catalyst to get you out of the Vietnam area because you had to go recuperate somewhere, get stitched out in the hospital?
No,
what?
I got a couple of stitches, but that was it. I mean, it wasn't that big a deal. But I was getting short, you know. My time was,
saying
coming up.
Oh yeah, because as far as like you were enlisted for 3 years,
Yeah.
and you spent a year and a half or a year as a supply clerk, and
Yeah.
or maybe you spent 7 months getting to Europe, and then 6 months as a supply clerk, and now you're over here doing this, and your time's getting short.
Yep. So when we went back in, my commanding officer, again, all of us, kind of, when you lose that many.
Oh sure, you lose 9 out of your 16.
Yep.
Or excuse me, 11 out of your 16. You said 5 came back out of 16, right?
5. Yep.
So you lost 11 of your comrades.
Yep. When you have that kind of loss, they like to give you R&R. Well, there's no sense in going R&R when my ETA, or my estimated time to get out, was in January. They just said, instead of R&R, they just sent me home.
So you went from Vietnam home. You didn't go back to Germany and finish up there?
Nope, I never went back to Europe. Well,
for some reason, I had in my head that you called up your recruiting guy and said, "Get me out of here," you know, after.
No, I never did that.
Or it's like, "Hey, you promised my GED. Let's finish that up," you know, kind of.
No,
thing.
my GVD, they finished that up in a hurry.
Okay.
I got it through the University of Maryland, and that happened in the.
Before you made out of basic training.
Yeah, I think I took the tests. I took the tests at Fort Ord.
Okay.
So
you're saying this was November or so, and your time's up in January, and they said, well, he needs, you know, because they want you to go through R&R and talk with shrinks and things like that after you've taken some lives and that kind of thing.
Yep.
And so they just said, well, it's just easier to send him home.
Yep.
So do you feel like you got the care you needed for your mental health by them just sending you home?
No.
Because you probably came home pretty depressed.
Well, I came home big depressed, and when I got back into the States, the VA did make some attempts, but it was that they were, at that time, they were far more interested in me.
Re-enlisting?
Well, they would have loved that. Yes, they always wanted you to re-enlist, and I can understand that. But no, the big problem was now public sentiment had turned, and when we were,
because it's 1968, you coming home now.
Yeah, and
this police action has protests against it and everything else.
They told us don't wear your uniforms. You know, don't let them know that you're in the military. And it was not.
You weren't the heroes. You weren't received well.
No, and the VA. I never, you know, after the mandatory, because I did have some disability, and I received payments for those disabilities.
Because of the stab? Disability because of the stab?
Oh, that and the mental situation. I mean,
did they give you a Purple Heart because you were wounded in action?
I was certainly eligible for it. But I never got it.
The accommodation was the one medal that, because when you and Mom divorced, you left some like medals and stuff behind, and Kristen ended up with them, I thought.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if she still has them or if she tried to give them to you, or
I don't know either. It doesn't matter.
but the accommodation was the fancy one on the ribbon with all the.
Yep. That was just a green ribbon. Anyway, it's again, I'm not.
That's Riggs medal as far as you're concerned.
As far as I'm concerned, it is.
And then as far as the Purple Heart, you'd just as soon not be eligible for it. You didn't want to get wounded, let alone take somebody else's life.
Yep. I mean, my records reflect it, and they know it. And because of it, the VA really does treat me really well. But I don't know.
So you come home from 1968, you bring some surplus uniforms with you, and your dad jumps all over them.
Oh yeah, he thought that was great.
He never mind the fact that he's swimming in them because he's 5'6" and $150.
Yeah.
He loves how heavy duty the fabric is and how well they'll wear. And you were like, I'm just going to throw these out. And he's like, no, I'll take them.
Yeah. Well, I actually, when I first got back, yeah, he did like that, but I actually signed up for the reserves at one point.
But I mean, if you sign up, isn't that kind of a permanent thing? Aren't they ready to
No.
take you back?
No, they wanted me back, and this is when we lived out in Granger.
Oh, okay. So you're a married man by
Yeah.
that point. Okay. Well, so when you first come home, before we jump into that, then,
Yeah.
when you first come home, emotionally, mentally, it's taken its toll on you. You're depressed. You got to figure out what you want to do with your life. Is the GI Bill going to help you go to college now?
Yep.
And but
I came home. I had I really had saved a lot. I mean, you don't need to spend much money in combat zones.
no, they provide so much for you that, and you didn't have some of the vices that some of the other guys do. You weren't paying somebody to take guard duty from you. You were making money on that.
Yeah.
And
and I also the other thing that even made me more money is I was what they called a loan shark.
okay, I was gonna ask you about the loan sharking. You told me one time that you can do the 1.5 math really fast.
Oh boy.
Somebody borrows 10 from you, they got to pay back 15. Somebody borrows $50 from you, they got to pay back
$62.50.
No, I thought it was 1.5, so I was going to say 75.
No. 50% interest.
Yeah, 50.
A month.
Oh, a month. But they was always due next paycheck, right? You guys got
Exactly.
paid once a month.
Yep. And payday.
So you just calculated out, so that made you some money because you were the loan shark, because you had the money to loan and nobody else was good with their cash.
Yeah, I wasn't wasting.
But you weren't out there drinking at the bars and
No.
and living like that because you had a different upbringing.
Yeah.
Now, if there'd been a cedar fence on the post, it might have been in trouble.
Well, I mean, there, when I was in the military, there were times when I thought I was going to be a drinker. The last time I was drunk was August 6th, 1966.
So you would have been in the military then.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
That was just before we went to Vietnam. That was when I.
Well, let's touch on your smoking real quick. Your dad teaches you how to roll a cigarette.
Yep.
and basically smoke something other than traditional tobacco.
Yep.
And so that starts you down a path that you smoked in high school, right?
Yep.
Now you got a job, so you can afford actual cigarettes.
Yep.
And again, it was certainly taboo being LDS, but it probably didn't have the same come down on you health. There was no indoor clean air acts. There was, every Hollywood guy smoked, and there's a glamour with it, and the cool guys did it, and if it was such a taboo thing, your dad probably never would have even shown you how to do it in the first place. So you start down this path, but it's one of the most addictive things you've ever done.
Oh, no question.
And so the military, they take 5. What does everybody do?
Smoke.
Smoke. So
Smoking lamps lit. That's military term.
did they Do they issue you just like they issue you a uniform? Do they issue cigarettes with your paycheck every month? You know, like a ration it out, or do you have to go to the commissary and spend your money?
No, they give you what they call a Class 6 card. Class 6 card covers coffee, tea, alcohol, and cigarettes. And it's a punch card. And you get so many. I did use a lot of the liquor ones, though I didn't drink it. Because liquor was a really good bargaining chip.
Commodity to bar. Just like if you were in prison somewhere, there's things you can trade in kind for, favors and whatever, okay? Yep. So you used it to your advantage. Again, all of these things were padding your purse more than they were subtracting it away. Yep. So you come home from the military with a decent amount of savings to start with.
Yep.
Considering where you've been.
Yep. And my intent is to just go to school, and I had enough money that I felt like I didn't really have to do much, and I wasn't planning on going back to work that quick. But I came home on the 13th, and I went to work at Slim's on the 14th.
They were so happy to see you, they just signed you right back up.
Oh yeah, they didn't give me any hassle there. But my dad had been out of work for a while. He had taken a fall, and his back was giving him troubles. They were in trouble, and then Mom and Dad were having some serious troubles with Nancy and Julia. They were the only ones at home.
Yeah, because you already mentioned that your older brothers were either emancipated or off on their own, married, and the girls got married relatively young, right?
Well, Anna did a 2-year or 18-month mission.
That's right.
And then she did her degree before she got married.
Okay, so she didn't get married yet.
She met Kendall at the
Y?
The Y, yeah.
Okay, so it was the older three that got married really close. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep, 3 of them. But Anna left on her mission at the same time.
Okay.
So they were all gone. And
So
we had the old living room turned into the master bedroom. The kitchen got expanded some, and the new addition added a new living room, a very nice bathroom, much nicer than the original bathroom, and the bedroom upstairs, which was Kathy and Carol, the Kemners, and then I had a bedroom downstairs. We had a big family room downstairs, and my dad had his shop downstairs, and also our food storage and that kind of stuff.
And this is the house after coming back from Arizona, because you've already lost the other place to eminent domain. Got it. Okay.
No, the house was built before we went to Arizona, but we knew we were going to lose the house. That was probably one of the motivations. And Dad said, well, let's take this opportunity, if we're going to lose the house, to move to Arizona. But
that wasn't a place to stay, and so you came back and built this other place that you just described, right?
No, it was already built. It was built when it got condemned.
Okay, when the eminent domain happened, you built this one, and you didn't sell it. You kept it when they went to Arizona, and they came back to it.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And then we had to start looking for a new place, because that house was coming down. The new addition portion of that house, they put it on a truck and they moved it to Syracuse. It's still there in Syracuse. I have seen it, but I haven't been able to go back and find it.
Okay, I guess I was confused then. So, eminent domain's saying that you're going to lose the house.
Yep.
And obviously they pay you for the house. It isn't like just take it. Okay?
Oh yeah.
So there's some money coming in for market value of whatever the house is. Your dad says, let's go down to Arizona. You go down to Arizona, it doesn't work out. You come back to the same house, and now you're looking for another place, and you have a part of that house moved to Syracuse. So apparently your parents moved to Syracuse? They
No, they moved the house to Syracuse.
Oh,
They put it on a truck and re-added it to a house in Syracuse. We got a low tire.
okay. So where did your parents move to after they left the house that got torn down and only the trees left?
They moved to 11th South and 1st East.
Okay.
Directly east, basically where they were.
Okay. And they just sent that new addition up to Syracuse. Did they sell that to somebody? Why did that go?
Yeah, they sold it.
Okay, they sold that to somebody, and somebody put it.
They bought the scrapping rights to the property when it was bought by the state, and with that, it gave them the right to take that new addition that they had built and move it and put it on a new foundation and a new everything up in Syracuse.
So did they own the property in Syracuse, or did they sell it to somebody?
They had nothing to do with Syracuse. Syracuse.
Oh, so you're saying the new owners came in that bought the scrapping rights?
Yes.
Okay, so I took it as your parents bought the scrapping rights. No, your parents just got bought out of the whole thing. Somebody else came in and bought that and moved it up there, and that's why you know that an addition's up there somewhere, because somebody bought it. Okay.
Yep.
Got it. So your parents move over to 11th East?
11th South and 1st
And
East.
1st East. And that's the home that you came back to out of the military.
Yes.
Okay. And Julia and Nancy are now teenagers and giving your parents grief.
Especially Nancy.
Especially, well, Nancy's got a long history of giving grief.
Yeah. She was running away, and at one point she was a dancer at the Southern Exposure in Salt Lake. And the Child Protective Services were going to take her out of my mother and dad's care, and they showed up to do that, and the only one home at that moment was me. And so they came in with their badges and their this and that. Where is she, and when's she going to be home? And I have no idea. And so as soon as they leave, I get on the phone and I call Anna, who's always my first line of support.
Mm-hmm. In spite of the fact that she threatened to bake you in the oven.
I don't know if that was Anna or Lois. Probably Lois.
Lois threatened to, your little kid, they're going to bake you in the oven.
Yeah.
Scared you to death, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you call Anna because she's a good support.
Well, and she's living in St. George. Her and Kendall and a couple of her kids. And I tell her, I'm going to find Nancy and I'm going to put her on a bus and I'm going to send her to you in St. George. And so that's what happened. I finally chased her down and took her and put her on a bus and sent her to St. George, and she went down and lived with them for a while.
It was kind of like a Bryce situation, huh?
Yeah, it was.
For those of you wondering what I mean by that, Anna and Kendall's third son, fourth child, is Bryce.
Yep.
That's my cousin, and he was acting up in his high school years, and he spent his freshman year, was it?
I don't know if it's freshman or sophomore.
I think it was freshman, because I hadn't met Heather Randall yet, and Bryce and I met her at a dance, and I didn't start dating Heather until like the fall. Until I turned 16, right? And I could drive, and then I started dating Heather that summer. So I'm pretty sure it was our freshman year. So anyway, he comes out and lives with us for a good part of the school year, just because they were having so much trouble containing him. And so that's kind of the same thing. Nancy, they're having trouble containing her. They send her to Anna, to see if they can't straighten her out somehow.
Yep. And that's why and she flourished down there and did really well until Mom and Dad decided they needed to move down there too. And then it went south again.
Did they sell their place in Bountiful to move down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, they moved down there. They bought a place and moved down there, and then they sold the place. I'm going to get some air and some...
Okay.
I can get some air. They bought the place down there, and then Dad came up here and eventually sold the house on 11th South and did a terrible job. He lost his shirt on that deal, but
Because he didn't believe in insurance, so he didn't believe in realtors either.
I didn't believe in nothing.
Tried to do it himself.
Yeah. Well, it didn't work out, but he did. Thought I saw it right there. Yeah, there it is. Oh, left rear is low. My parents decided to go down there. They went down and they bought this old home that had a little home behind it, and they moved down there. And Nancy ended up going back to her wild ways instead of living with Ken and Anna and Kendall. She was living with Mom and Dad. Anyway, she gets pregnant, so she marries her first husband, and
I don't even know his name.
Philip.
Philip.
Was not a bad guy, but Philip went in the military, and they went back east, and that's where she had her first child, was back there. And,
Anyway, but not to expand on Nancy or anything like that.
Yeah.
You've come home from the military. This is before your parents go to St. George.
mm-hmm.
You're struggling to get things going. I mean, I know you want to get in school and everything, but the semester's already started without you?
No, I went January.
Oh, you did? You go in January?
Yep. I went to school, and
Where did you enroll?
Salt Lake Community College.
Salt Lake Community College, okay.
No, that's not true. LDS Business College.
LDS Business College, okay.
And I was going there, and like I say, I went back to work at Slim's. And, I was really unhappy that I was having to pay all this money out to cover for my parents. I was just about ready to go back in the military.
Just to escape the situation?
Yeah, just I can't do what I wanted to do, so now let me get back where I'm at least in control.
And you get set up with a blind date instead?
Yeah, I guess that's a good place
Red
to
light
go
still.
next. Oops, I'm through it now.
Yeah, I was going to say you're committed now. So, because it's several months that you're bailing them out, you're going to school, you finish the semester?
Oh yeah, no, I finished that semester. And
But you're contemplating going back into the military.
yeah, and that's when I get the blind date with Becky, or not Becky. That's a
Beth Ellen, that's a common mistake.
It is for me, and it hurts. It hurts both times, and I don't mean to do it.
Yeah. So your friends, you mentioned them earlier. Who are they again? That set you up?
Craig Hummel, who became a big-time psychologist, and Jill Salt, who was his first wife, and we went to the Bountiful Theater. And the Bountiful Theater was right there across the street. I forgot to point it out when we were there. At the junior high school where we went. South Davis Junior High School is on this side.
The Bountiful Theater is a drive-in theater?
It was a drive-in.
Okay. And what kind of car did...
Craig had a 64 Chevrolet.
64 '64 Chevrolet Impala.
Yep.
He and in the future, Mrs. Hummel, is that her name? Salt?
Yeah, Jill Salt.
Jill Salt are in the front.
Yep.
And that puts you and Mom in the back.
Right.
And I guess we should also back up. You go to the door to pick her up, right?
Yep.
You open the door and you hear about this part of the story years later. Her first impression of you.
Yep. I was way older, gray hair, and the hair on my chest was sticking out of my.
Because your shirt
was just open.
Just a couple of buttons down,
Yeah.
right? Just the sign.
Yeah,
time.
it was. I wasn't one of those that.
It was a collared shirt. You just had the. You just
Top
didn't have
one
the top one open.
Yep.
And so you're starting to gray a little on the sideburns.
Yep. Anyway, her opinion was that I was an old guy, and me, my opinion was just holy mackerel, greatness, just a little bitty bopper.
Yeah,
I mean, she was really cute, no question about that. But holy mackerel,
Yeah, Mom at her height, maximum height was what, 5'3"?
5'4".
5'3", 5'4".
Yeah.
And she's just a teeny little thing. She's enrolled in beauty
College.
college at the time. Because she, like you, has a birthday in October.
Yep.
And so she's just barely graduated high school?
Yeah. Well, she graduated. No.
Oh, so this is.
She was still in high school.
What time of year was this?
This is April, May of
Okay.
2018.
1968.
Yeah.
1968 April, May area. So she hasn't quite graduated from high school yet.
Yep.
So you answer the door. Chest hair and sideburns make you look old, and she's just this tiny little thing. And what do you have in common? So you guys climb in the back seat. You guys got to dinner first, or what?
No.
No.
We went to the movie.
It was just
Went
the
to
movie.
the drive-in. Went down to the cafe at the movie when we got
Okay.
there. Went and got treats, and Jill kept turning the radio up way loud, and Craig kept telling her, and reached over, turned it down, and said, "Don't turn that up like that. You're gonna burst the speakers."
And it's just the normal music over the radio. It's not you're getting the movie through the radio.
No,
right?
it's just the radio in the car.
Okay.
And so he reaches over and turns it down. Then she reaches over and turns it up again. This time he turns it off.
You guys are waiting for the movie to start? It hasn't even started yet?
No, it's first movie's over.
So we're at intermission.
Intermission.
She wants to listen to the radio. She's listening too loud.
Yeah.
And he's having a problem with that.
And she's really pressing him. And
she's pushing his buttons, huh?
Yeah.
So he turns it off.
Yeah. Now she slaps him and turns it all the way up high. I mean, just unbelievable high.
So she slaps him across the face.
Yeah. She slaps him and turns it all the way up. He reaches over, turns it off, and hits the door latch to open the passenger door across this way.
Right, across the front of her.
Puts his foot right there, pushes her right out. Boom.
Scoots her out, and she lands right on her butt.
Yep.
Boom.
She jumps up, and she's mad at him, so she takes off, and he jumps out, or your mother jumps out and goes with her. They go down to the restroom, doing the girl thing.
Right.
And
you got the arrow.
So I told, I'm trying to calm Craig down.
So you're getting after him for treating a woman like that.
Yeah.
Because
That wasn't good.
That wasn't good. That was stupid.
You
You
don't
can be the
do
bigger
that.
guy, and yeah.
Anyway, then she doesn't come back, so I go to find him. Well, I do find him, and Beth has found Jill, and they're they're talking and chatting and when I find him, Jill's not going back to the car. She's decided she's going to walk home. Now, walk home is about 5.5 miles. That ain't going to happen. But, so anyway, I go back and tell Craig, and your mother comes back with me and gets in the car, and I tell Craig she's going to walk home. Well, he fires up the car. He's going to go find her. So he leaves the parking lot.
You and Mom in the back seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes out and he starts up 2600. That's the road right there. And there's the athletic field to the left. And
For the junior high or what?
yeah, for the
Okay.
junior high. And she's walking on the far side. Well, this is the side we're supposed to be driving on.
Right, so she's on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah. And he's trying to talk to her out the window. She's not having any part of that. And so then he crosses and he's going down the wrong way on the other side of the road.
And it's from a time standpoint, if it's May and you've just watched a movie, it's like
9:30,
10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So he's crossed over, talking to her out of the
Yep.
driver's window,
And then
driving up the wrong side of the
so
street.
she makes a left turn and starts walking across the field, headed away from him, see?
Yeah.
Well, he bails out of the car. The car's rolling down the road without a driver. I come over the seat to grab control of the car, and
Because he jumps out with no warning. He's
Yeah.
just like, I'm out
Yeah.
of here. Doesn't
Yeah.
even put it in park.
he's trying to calm her down, and she's having no part of it.
So you've got to come over the seat, make sure you steer the car, bring
Yep.
it to a stop.
And as I get in there and get control of the car, all of a sudden the red light starts going. What?
Barney Fife's behind you.
Yep. Car comes, and that cop goes up over the curb and drives out onto the athletic fields and catches him. And he talks to him and he makes him kiss and make up.
Puts him in the back of the squad car until they kiss and make up.
No. He did it out there on the field, but then he walked him back, and he told me I had to drive them home, and that the party was over. And so I got up and I drove Craig's car to my car, and I got my car, and then they went their own way, and your mother and I went our own way, and now we had something to talk about.
Yeah, she's always been a hothead, and he's always, overreacts and,
That's
pushing
true.
They're
And we both knew him. I mean, I knew Craig really well, and she knew Jill really well. I didn't know Jill at all until I met her through Craig. But anyway, that's how we met. That's what it started.
had something to talk about, and then you
Yep.
guys had a second date. Because if it wasn't for that crazy incident, there probably wouldn't have been a second date.
No, I don't think there would have been, and I don't think your mother would say that there would have been.
I remember one time you said to me, "Oh, see this neighborhood right here?
Mm-hmm.
This, that we're right next to where Jeff Miller's house is. I don't know how we wound up here, but he's in this.
Yeah, this is a really upgraded area.
Yeah, I want to say that it's. I think we still have to go a little farther down because isn't there like a? Well, regardless, maybe we've already gone past it at this point. But anyway, back to this. I remember one time you said something like she would say, "Oh, you just got out of the military? My brother's in the military," and you're like, "Sure, okay, baby, whatever."
Yep.
Like you were hardly giving her the time of day, and this conversation.
It was going nowhere.
It was
really.
cold. My brother's in the military. Okay, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you guys have several dates. Anything noteworthy in your courtship?
Well, I was selling cars on the side, and
Because Roy was in the car business by now?
no. Roy was in the car business. He was in California
Okay.
then, and but I was selling a few cars, and so I had more than one car, and so I tried to give your mother. I had a Corvair Spider convertible that I was letting you. I was going to give it to your mom, but Grandpa said no, and so then I had a Torino, nice car. It was kind of fancy paint and all this other stuff, and I would let her drive that when she needed it to get back and forth to work, and she took it down to the beauty parlor, parked it out in front, and
That was when you said that road cost you a car?
yeah.
So she borrows the car to go to the beauty college.
Yep.
She's trying to finish up her degree down there.
Yep, she backs out and gets hit. Of course, because she's backing, it's already her fault. And so,
So was the car totaled in that
no, it wasn't
accident?
totaled. No, it wasn't totally. I had it fixed. Insurance paid for it. And yeah, now all of this area and this ground that we're looking at right now, this all used to belong to our family.
So basically the Olympus Holiday area,
Yeah, Cottonwood.
Cottonwood was all
Yep.
Baldwin
Yep.
radio property.
Yep. And I haven't been up here for a long, long time. But all of these older homes that are on this street, are homes that Grandpa built and gave away.
During the Great Depression.
Yep, during the Depression.
And by Grandpa, we mean Nathaniel
Yeah,
Baldwin,
absolutely.
your grandpa.
Yeah.
Because you were just saying Grandpa earlier, and then
Yeah.
you were talking about Gramps. It was
Yeah.
my grandfather.
Yeah. Well, I'm shocked. I guess I don't know where I'm going anymore. Oops. I didn't think it was up the side. We'll whip around here and go back down. Maybe I just...
Anyway, so other than the loss or damage of that car, and you say you were selling cars, does that mean you were owning them yourselves and
Yes,
just flipping them?
I was in a finance group called Tulane. This Tulane group that I was part of gave us a dealer's license where we were brokering cars. I'd go to the auction and buy a car, and then I'd drive it, but it was always for sale, and I'd sell them. Now on this side of the street, on Evergreen, and that's what this is, right?
Oakwood? Yeah, we're on Evergreen right here.
There should be a great big house that last time I was there, it was a nursing home, but it's also a registered monument.
For the Historical Society.
Exactly, for my grandfather. It's his house. And he built all these, this one here, all those block brick ones. Those are all his. This is it. That was his big house. That was his big house when he was, there's a plaque on it.
Nice big porch.
Yep. But he owns this. Now we're going to go down and see the factory. And he built his own power plant at the factory that provided electricity for all of this neighborhood, everybody.
And it was because he harnessed the hydraulic power of the
river
coming down?
Yeah. Mill Creek comes right through his property. And he had a water wheel out there and generator.
So, how long were you dating before you proposed?
I think I proposed in August.
In August?
Yep.
So 3-4 months.
Yep.
And of course, she hadn't even turned 18 yet. Her birthday is in October. She graduated high school at 17. And so Granny and Gramps were just, of course, thrilled with the idea of you two getting married, right?
No.
I was saying that facetiously.
I know. That's okay.
But you basically had to have the conversation as whether you
I'm missing something right now. I thought I was going to show you the factory right back there, but maybe somebody moved it. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Last time I looked online, there was a little blip on it.
Yeah.
Like they had converted into some office spaces
well, they've got it's kind of a commune type thing almost. They've got an art,
like an event center portion to it and something else.
An art community.
So you basically had to tell Gramps that he can either bless this or you're too bad, we're getting married anyway because she'll be 18.
I didn't say that. And I don't know what she said to him, but they never gave me a hard time. They just, I remember when I went to see Gramps, he said, you guys have already made up your mind. What do you need me for? I said,
that was what he said?
Basically, yeah. And I basically said, you're right.
So November 15th, 1968, Salt Lake Temple.
Yep.
And again, you obviously are still a smoker from your days in the military. Well, really since the Cedar Fence incident.
Yeah, I stopped smoking through that period, and I had the blessing on it, but I did go back to it, as you know.
Yeah, when I talk to people and you come up in the conversation and you're smoking, because obviously people know that I'm pretty orthodox LDS, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And so when it comes up with my dad being a smoker since he was 10, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I use the old Mark Twain quote that quitting's easy, done it 1,000 times.
Or more.
So I don't doubt that it's something that you've struggled with for a long, long time. You're tobacco free now, but I think being on an oxygen tank probably helped with that because you weren't allowed to smoke or you'd blow up, right?
Well, the one that I give the credit to getting me to stop, because I tried everything. I'm going to try something else. Now, your cousin Bryce, you mentioned earlier, he bought one of Grandpa's houses.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yep, at one point, and it is right along here. Maybe it's not along here. Maybe they tore it down. I think that's where it was, is where those two houses are now. Anyway, yeah, Bryce bought that at one point. And he lived there for a while. Oh, no, that was it right there.
That little green jobber?
It was a green, and it has a garage in the back. That was the one that Bryce owned.
Well, anyway, so you get married in November of 1968.
Yep.
Kristen is born in July of 1970, so that's a year and a half, basically.
Yeah.
A year and 8 months from when you guys get married.
Yeah.
Where did Where's your first place as a married couple? Did you have an apartment? Did you try and buy a house?
First we had an apartment on Center Street at Bountiful,
Okay.
right around the corner from where we're at now, where I'm at now anyway.
I was gonna say Center Street. Nicole's on Center Street, so.
Yeah. But I was down on the west side,
Okay.
and you know, I was working for Firestone, and
Selling tires? Is that what it was?
yeah,
Or running a shop, really,
well,
right? Because
yeah.
you weren't the mechanic.
no,
Is the point I was making.
I mean, I did
here.
do,
Okay.
I did, you know, I changed tires, I changed shocks and stuff.
You jumped in where you needed to, but that wasn't your daily thing.
No,
I think you told me one time some guy got mad and he was threatening you, and you're like, you're a real tough guy. I've never seen anybody beat.
the rest of the shop with
6 guys with wrenches.
yeah.
You got the message real quick that you weren't alone.
Yep.
Never mind special forces and stuff. You probably could have handled them on your own.
Yeah, there was no fear there. Of course,
But you're running the shop. In fact, I think you guys told us that the first word that Kristen could read at her very young age was Firestone. I don't think her first word was Firestone. It was like horsey or something, but she could identify the Firestone logo for sure.
Absolutely.
How long did you work at Firestone?
Started there in I started in 68, and I was there until after you were born, which is 71. And I think 71, I think I left in 72.
All right, I'm going to pause real quick.